Good evening, welcome to Q Weekly on Bent TV. I'm Amy Henderson and we've got a fantastic show for you tonight. Stevie and Paul are going to be making sushi in Q Cuisine, and Vic and Dr. Beng Yu are talking about transgender health in Q Health. But for now, it's over to Michael and friends for this week's issue of Q View.
And welcome to another Q View. I'm Michael King, and with me today, of course, I have the lovely Chris and Erica joining us in for their view on...
Michael, what is the subject this week?
Is man the new woman?
Well...
Now, can you guess what the topic is from that? No, you can't. All right. Well, the subtopic is non-conformist seduction tools.
What's that?
It's makeup for men.
Makeup?
Ooh.
Basically, makeup for men. There was this really funny article in The Age on Saturday.
Hang on, business section?
No, yes, of course, regular viewers, we only normally read the business, it was lifestyle section.
And entertainment, I'm sure.
We don't read the news because it's bad for you. But no, it was a really funny article all about men and makeup. Now, of course, men already use cosmetics.
Products,
for one of a, you know, the gels, the toners.
The washes,
well, they all contain
scrubs,
some form of beauty agent to make your skin look better.
That's it, yeah,
all that sort of thing. But do we, men, really want to buy into this whole, unfortunately for women, having to look good and spend a fortune on makeup?
But they already are.
Oh, take it from me. No, you don't. Don't take it.
But they already are, though.
Well, yeah, but see, the images that women portrayed in the media are always, you know, done up, and not necessarily the same for men.
Yeah,
so people's expectations are that a woman will
unbeknownst
wear
to
makeup.
people, they do actually wear makeup on screen, however. In the movies, they wear makeup. We just don't see it happen. It's not quite as obvious.
Well, that's the code word for this whole thing: natural looking.
Well, if you wear that on television, it's so that you don't look ill. The lights on TV and also in movies, they're quite harsh, and you're trying to create a certain visual effect.
That's correct.
So is you extending that into your pub or your bar or your footy match, where you might be spending
Well, I certainly know a lot of men who could use a bit of makeup.
In your pubs, your footy matches, your bars.
Could you imagine the application? I mean, women have had, like, well, from the age of whatever to practice, and suddenly they release this range of men's makeup. There'll be streaks, there'll be... oh, no.
No, they wouldn't blend very well.
I can see myself now going up to guys in bars. Now, come here. Here's my one.
It'd be like, don't forget the compact.
You've got shine, sweetie.
It would kind of be like a drag show at the Exchange. That's my fear.
Another one?
You know, eyebrows over here and that sort of thing. But there were a couple of... Look, there was this bloke, there was this article, and he actually hasn't told his wife a lot of the... She sort of...
As many don't.
Well, she kind of stands back and watches him do his
antioxidant,
you know, thing in the morning, everything. And what he hasn't told her in this article is, yeah, he's actually had a bit of Botox and everything, this guy. But he says at the end, because his wife sort of, you know, thinks he's a bit sus.
Yeah.
A man only needs to be half as vain as a woman to be a narcissist.
I'll take
it's
that.
So true.
Yes.
In some men, it certainly is.
Oh, and there was another good one. Why should women be the only ones allowed to leave their face on the pillow in the morning?
Personally, I don't. I wash it all off, no matter how drunk I am, and I still wake up with panda eyes.
It's always the way.
But the subtext, of course, is money. Because it's advertising, isn't it?
And it makes a fortune.
Yep. Well, there was a bloke out, this article says, there was a bloke out from Jean-Paul Gaultier in Maya, Melbourne, for example, teaching the women. But they do not and will not use the term makeup. They use that term, non-conformist seduction tools.
Who are they fooling?
Term.
Well,
men apparently, yes.
Well, this is an upcoming segment that we're going to do actually on Pink Dollar and stuff. But you were chatting earlier about the poster at the chemist on the corner of Commercial Road, right? Which is, you know, like the gay ghetto kind of thing, right? And they use that poster of like the sailor half naked, you know, for Jean-Paul Gaultier.
Flowers tattooed around his nipples, crossed arms, pouting at you. It's obviously a product that's been positioned towards a gay market. I don't think many heterosexual men would look at that poster and say, I'm going to buy that product that says something about who I am.
But you noticed there was one late last year where they were using AFL footballers to I think it was only like a shampoo or something, right? But it had... or facial toner or something. Yeah, in the locker room.
It was the locker room.
Capturing a different market.
Trying to make it blokey, do you know what I mean?
Capture the different market, true.
Yeah.
Well, they weren't actually like selling eyeliner or something.
Well, you never know.
Trying to get guys to wash their hair is pretty hard to do.
No, or see, again, at the end of this article, it says, and I found that, I'll just read this bit because it's the summary of the article and I think it's so true. It's interesting to see guys' behaviour in the restroom at restaurants and bars. Most will only take a cursory glance at themselves if there are other men around.
True.
I bet, though, that they spend a whole lot more time looking in the mirror and playing with the hair when they're alone.
I'll have to take your word on that one.
Well, we did our whole show on the metrosexuals and how... Because these guys, honestly, you think they were puffed as the way
that's
they
true.
Yeah, my gaydar gets scrambled whenever I see one of them walking down the street.
Look, if you've got your view and you want to contact us,
do share.
Feedback at benttv.org.au or the snail mail, PO Box 6256, St Kilda Road, Central, Melbourne 8008. That's Erica, that's Chris, and I'm Michael. Thanks for watching another Q View. See you next week.
See you guys.
See ya.
Thanks for that, guys. There certainly are a lot of men who wear makeup around Bent TV. But for now, we're going to have a look at Q Health with Vic Perry and Dr. Beng Yu.
Hi, I'm Vic Perry and welcome to another edition of Q Health. And as usual, I've got the lovely Dr. Beng Yu with me. How are you, Beng?
Really well, Vic.
Tonight we're going to talk about transgendered issues. Now, it's quite a large area of discussion, but we'll do what we can in the 6 or 7 or so minutes we have in this segment. Firstly, what is transgendered, or what does it mean?
I think this is where there's a bit of controversy about how people define transgendered. Strictly speaking, I suppose the medical term for the overall thing is gender dysphoria, which is still considered a mental illness, like homosexuals were in the past, sort of thing. And the strict definition is about people who want to change their gender physically. But I think our general understanding now is more about people who are probably not comfortable completely in their gender that they were born in. I suppose that's probably a general way of describing it. So I think it covers people who might want to dress as the opposite gender, up to people who might want to have physical characteristics of the opposite gender.
So it's about sort of challenging that binary construct that we're sort of brought up with knowing about the male-female, that that everyone's either male or female. It's about a sort of more varied sort of linear scale.
Yeah, absolutely. I think this how people describe it is like Kinsey's scale about homosexuality in the 50s or 60s that he did, where he found that very few people were exclusively heterosexual or homosexual, and most people were somewhere in between. Same thing, I think, with genders. I think we're finding more and more that a lot of people fit somewhere in between. It's not black and white, as you said. It's not one or the other. A lot of people are, but there are a lot of people who are somewhere in between. And I think more and more now with transgendered issues, we're talking more to people about whether they want to fit into one extreme of the scale or not. People can choose to be in between the two and not feel like they have to conform completely.
And is that for the rest of their lives, or can people sort of have a feeling what gender they want to be at different stages of their life?
I think that's difficult to answer. I mean, for some people it will be for the rest of their lives, but I think there's certainly people who might change their minds or feel differently at different times of their life. And this is one of the difficult areas in terms of having gender reassignment surgery, people having surgery to change their physical characteristics, because there's a whole issue of if people can't decide for the rest of their life they want to be the other gender, then they need to maybe not go ahead and have the surgery. So it's quite a big topic to actually consider.
And with sexuality, a lot of people make assumptions and link the two, and they are two very separate things, aren't they? Gender and sexuality, and they don't necessarily.
Absolutely,
relate, do they?
absolutely. I think you're right, and I think especially in the general straight community, often sees what they think is a man dressed up as a woman, and obviously think they're gay and all that. And yeah, it's a totally separate thing. And how you identify your gender is totally different to who you're attracted to, and they're two totally separate things. And in some ways too, I think a lot of I know for a lot of gay men aren't very tolerant of people who are transgendered, and it's a real pity because it's a separate thing. They're just attracted to men, but they see that they're normal in that they're a male, whereas transgender people don't really fit into those categories.
And that what you've just said talks about the sort of prejudice that's contained even within the queer communities, because that prejudice is
yeah,
there,
absolutely. I think that's very sad, and especially I think in the queer community where so many of us have been sort of in some ways persecuted or excluded from the general community. I think it's very sad to exclude others from our own community as well.
So with transgender people, what are the particular health concerns that pertain to gender?
Well, I think there's so many health things we need to consider, but for me it comes under two large areas. One is firstly the mental health, and I think someone who's transgendered obviously goes through a lot of mental anguish. A lot of them get very depressed because they're trying to sort out their gender, and often it's a very, very difficult thing to accept or even find out about. So obviously people are very disturbed over all that, and also because of being transgender, quite often their relationships break down, they've got rejection from family, all that sort of stuff, which then can again cause depression as well. And then there are all the other health issues related to their chosen gender, whether it's about hormone replacement to change their gender, whether it's about surgery. And it can be confusing for doctors to actually check transgender people for appropriate health things, because physically they could be still one gender that need to be checked for that specific gender health problems. And emotionally they might be another gender. So it's quite confusing to actually deal with. So they need to be aware that they need to go to doctors who are actually familiar with the issues associated with transgendered people.
Well, in terms of services and support, then they do exist. Well,
yes, I mean they do exist. I think the best thing for someone to do if they need to get some help or talk to someone is at least, for example, find some of the clinics that are listed in the queer community guides or also guides and stuff like that, and talk to someone about it. I think the biggest problem for some people is that they have no one to talk to about it. And for some people is, they just want to cross-dress, and they're worried that means that they want to be the other gender, and it's not always the case.
Well, there's another edition of Q Health. If you want more information about tonight's topic or any other that we've covered in the past, or if you actually want to hear more about a particular topic we haven't covered, just email us here at Ben TV. Thanks, Ben. We'll see you next time.
Thanks for that, Vic and Beng. Stay tuned after the break because we have sushi and Elizabeth Blast coming up. Welcome back to Q Weekly on Bent TV. Now we've got a segment that's backed by popular demand. It's Stevie and Paul making sushi. Take it away, guys.
Yummy.
Welcome back to Q Cuisine. I'm here with Chef Extraordinaire, Mr. Paul Lenori. Now, what are we making today?
Today we're going to make sushi. Okay, to start off we need seaweed sheets. Available from supermarkets. You get 10 sheets in a packet, so we require 1 packet of seaweed. Let's place that there. By the way, seaweed's a great thing you can do. You can actually tear it up and place it in stir fries. Okay, it's very healthy. Would you like to eat some?
I would.
Okay.
Oh, thank you.
It's tasty. You need your saliva to moisten a little bit. But just remember, you can use seaweed for lots and lots of different things, not just for sushi. Okay, next we need rice. The rice I recommend is Sunlight Calrose medium grain rice. Okay, it's a rice that clings and separates. You cannot use arborio, jasmine rice, long grain rice. It has to be a short grain rice.
So there's some that you can't use?
There's some you can't use. It has to be a short grain. There is a Japanese rice called Nitsukan. It's a little bit more expensive, but again, available from supermarkets.
Short grain, short grain.
Short grain rice. Okay, next we need to make a syrup. So we need 1 cup of sugar, we need a cup of rice vinegar, some salt, and we need some salmon. Now, with the filling, we're going to use salmon. Salmon's a very good fish, very versatile. It's a great flavoursome fish, safer to eat raw. And next we need some vegetables. So we've got a nice large cucumber here.
Love it, nice.
Okay. With fish we need about 500 grams. We have our favourite thing, wasabi. This is quite a large packet. You can purchase that from supermarkets as well. And we need about a tablespoon of that. We need a sushi mat. Okay.
Sushi mat?
Sushi mat. Again, they should cost about $1.50 from markets. So to assemble all these things to get it ready to make sushi, what we need to do is, first of all, we need to cook the rice. Okay, you can see this rice is cooked using the absorption method. If you have a rice cooker, I recommend you use a rice cooker, follow the instructions, and you'll have beautifully cooked rice.
So if someone doesn't have a rice cooker, just in brief, what's the best way of...
The absorption method's when you choose the right size pot, like this is a kilo of rice.
Yeah.
It's a matter of putting the rice in, adding water till it's 1 inch above, and then bring it to the boil, and then simmer for 12 minutes.
Oh, okay.
This is how you should cook all rice, actually. So once our the rice is still warm, okay, so what we do is we cook our rice for 12 minutes, take it out of the pot, place it into a bowl. We make a syrup using our rice vinegar, sugar, and salt. And what we do is we bring this to the boil on a stove.
So how much sugar and whatnot did you just pop in there?
So it's a kilo of rice,
yeah.
It's 1 cup of vinegar, 1 cup of sugar, and about a tablespoon of salt. Place that all into a saucepan, like so, and just bring it to the boil till the sugar is dissolved. It takes about 30 seconds or so.
30 seconds?
Yeah.
All done.
Okay. Once our syrup's ready, we place it all over our rice and we stir that through. Now this looks a bit wet at the moment, but you'll find it's really hot. Okay, it's a bit hot to work with at the moment. Okay, so we let it cool down. But you really got to get these grains of rice coated in that syrup. So there's our rice. Okay, that's the most important part, by the way, getting the rice right. Next is our fish. Okay, just a matter of cutting the fish into nice long strips. Our cucumber. Sometimes I take the seeds out because there's a lot of moisture in the seeds. Okay.
But it doesn't really matter, does it?
No.
Ah.
Not at all. But anything you do put in, like if it was carrot, you want to blanch the vegetables. Blanching means drop the vegetables into boiling salted water, bring them back to the boil and drain them. It just brings out the colour, especially with snow peas and carrot and things like that, even capsicum. So if you want to make vegetarian rolls, you'd want to make sure the vegetables are just not like one large piece of raw carrot. You'd probably grate the carrot and sprinkle it in. A bit like the California rolls where they put alfalfa sprouts, carrot, avocado. Next is the wasabi. So the wasabi, if it's in powder form, it's just a matter of adding water to the powder, giving it a good stir. Okay, and that's our wasabi. Now, if you want to, what we're going to do today is drizzle the wasabi in the roll. That way, if it's for a cocktail party and you hand it around on a platter, people can't sort of dip into wasabi and soy. Okay, so we just keep on adding a little bit more water until it's a drizzling consistency. Okay. Something else that's nice too is mayonnaise. You can make wasabi mayonnaise. Okay, just buy a really nice, good quality real mayonnaise.
Real mayonnaise?
Or you can make your own mayonnaise. And if you are going to make wasabi mayonnaise, make it into a drizzling consistency, add it to the mayonnaise. If you add the powder, you'll get lumps.
Oh,
we don't want lumps.
Don't want lumps.
No. And wasabi is very hot. Some people don't like wasabi. The mayonnaise will give it a lot creamier taste and tone it down. So, seaweed sheet, shiny side, dull side. Doesn't really matter, but choose a side. And also, by the way, the sheet is not square. See, it's a rectangle. So you put the longest part to the bottom. All right.
Yes.
You can see that way. That means you'll just get another slice. Okay. Wet hands is very important because the rice will stick to you. You're watching?
I'm watching.
Good.
Okay.
Okay. So we put.
I'm going to have a go at this in a minute.
We put the rice down. Eyes down, looking in. Okay. We make a nice tight rectangle. Very important. take your time, okay? Right, little finger, make a nice deep well. Oops, okay. Then our wasabi. That might be a little bit runny actually, you can have a little bit thicker than that. That's what I meant about the fish. It doesn't matter if it's in little pieces, okay? And our cucumber, using the mat, that's what it's there for. And fingers, you go up and over and pull it towards you. Wet it like licking an envelope and turning like so. And there's our first roll.
Ah, voila.
Voila. Voila. And if you're going to eat them straight away, you'll find when you had that seaweed before, it was very chewy and your saliva moistened it. So just put a little bit of water on the outside. What we do then to serve, what we do is you actually saw through. Okay, you don't just cut down, you saw. Otherwise it's not going to work. Okay.
Yeah. Is it true that the knife needs to be wet as well?
Yeah, it's good. You can wet the knife in between each turn, but if it's a nice sharp knife, you won't have to. These are great. These little Chinese choppers. They're only about $4 from Asian grocery stores.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Be getting myself one of them.
Yeah. Do you want to grab me a plate from over there? We'll put it.
Okay.
I think we'll give that one to the cameraman. There you go.
Lovely.
So there we have it. There's our first attempt at making sushi.
If you'd like to contact Paul for this recipe, any recipe, or anything at all, you can contact him at lenore@bigpond.net.au. Paul, my sushi hands, thank you very much.
Thank you.
We will see you next time for Q Cuisine. Back to you in the studio.
Thanks for that, Stevie and Paul. That was one specially for all the lesbians out there. And now, from smelly fish to Elizabeth Blast. Hi, Elizabeth Blast.
Charming. That's really charming. What's that smell? Is that you?
No, it's you.
You want to see a magic trick? This is my magic trick. Do you like that?
Keep trying, Elizabeth.
And the reason why I did that is because Kath Jamison, Australia's leading female magician, is doing a show at Tony Starr's Kitten Club. Have you seen Kath Jamison before? She plays the bagpipes as well.
She was on our show actually with Stevie.
She was too.
Yes.
Yes.
Good friend of Bent TV, Kath.
Yes, we love Kath. Tony Starr's Kitten Club, Little Collins Street in Melbourne, May 11 to 15. And that's at 7 p.m. You can go to kathjamison.com. She's got her own website. Moving up in the world. If you want some more information, that's happening in Melbourne. In South Yarra, which is over there, Pride March is having their annual general meeting. And I reckon we should all go because I think the objective is to be better than Sydney. Hey, now there's a thought.
Really? We're not competing with Sydney though, it's a different thing.
Of course we are.
Okay.
Wednesday, May 4. Let's go down there at Heaven at 151 Commercial Road, South Yarra, and that's followed by a community forum. And I think it's from about 6:30, I think. But Pride March annual general meeting. Get involved, make it great. Windsor, in the lovely Windsor on the south side of town. The Also Foundation are having their Black Friday Trivia Night, Melbourne Bowling Club, 138 Union Street, Windsor, from 7:30 to 11. Have you been to a trivia night before?
Yeah, I'm a trivia whiz.
Are you?
Yep.
Well, you should head down there. It's $15. That includes finger food and drinks at bowling club prices. That's Friday, May the 13th, from 7:30 p.m. And there are tables of 8 available if you've got 8 people to bring. In Fitzroy, Cherry Bomb. The brainchild of Kira, you know Kira, we all know Kira. Hi Kira. She's got a new night called Cherry Bomb happening at first floor, 97 Smith Street in Fitzroy, every Saturday, free entry, and there's live performance available in that as well.
I've heard about that. I've heard it's going to be a good
Cherry
night.
Bomb, yeah. The Not Quite Straight support group for people 14 to 18 is a place for young people to meet and in a safe and supportive environment. Call Kate on 9882 2621 for more information. Good thing to be involved with. I'm plugging myself today. I'm on Joy Melbourne from 12 till 3 every Friday, so tune in. 94.9 on your FM dial. That's all I have for you all this evening. If you'd like me to give you a shout out, don't hesitate. And email me at feedback@benttv.org.au because you never know, Amy. They just might be watching.
Thank you very much, Elizabeth Blast.
My pleasure.
I went off your map last weekend. I went way out into the Yarra Valley.
You went all the way
Show
out
me
here.
where it is. Is that where it is?
No, yeah, it's about there.
It's about there. Fantastic.
I'm going about here soon. Hell!
I'll see you there. I hope the food's good. Thank you very much for joining us tonight on Q Weekly, Bent TV. And don't forget to watch Face to Face on Thursdays at 10:30 p.m. And stay tuned next week for more Q Weekly. Bye-bye.